Good morning, folks. In today's segment, we'll be talking about crypto crash, and more importantly, do we need to worry about this for the current crash that we have experienced in the markets? Again, this is something that we have mentioned in our previous analysis. We also talked about in our video yesterday, and the price sort of bounced back from that particular price level. But we'll discuss all of that in a lot more detail. Before we do anything else, it is important for me to just give you guys a bit of a reminder. Anything which will be discussed cannot be perceived as an advice. Now, folks, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so because markets do change, especially when it comes to crypto markets. And that means you guys need to be aware of the most up to date analysis. Now, as we were discussing yesterday, and I will touch on fundamentals as well in a lot more detail today. But what I kind of wanted to focus to begin with is that this area, the area which is just right over here, was very much mentioned in our video yesterday. So we talked about this particular area of support and the possibility of the prices coming really into this sort of area and then bouncing from this particular price point. So we also mentioned, this area as well in our analysis, in our conversation, but obviously this didn't really work. The price literally went from this one clean and then go further to the downside. Now we are looking at this area right over here, and the questions which are being asked is that okay, is the sell-off really over? But before we start talking about the sell-off, we really need to understand that what really triggered the actual sell-off in the market. So if you think, and then reading the headlines, if you think that the sell-off was triggered by China news because China came out and then said it isn't really going to support Bitcoin, then obviously, that if that was one of the reason for buying Bitcoin, then obviously that then it shouldn't be any surprise to you because China never ever backed Bitcoin. It always had a very tough stance about Bitcoin. In fact, if you see the recent development when it comes to China, they are developing their own cryptocurrency. Why would they ever back Bitcoin with that? So, just seeing the sell off on the back of a China, I think that was nothing but an excuse because the market was due for a correction for a very, very long time. And the reason for that being because right over here, as we discussed yesterday, this was the area where we were seeing a lot of positive news momentum coming, but the prices were very much fading to break to the upside, and that was giving us indication that look, prices are about to change their direction and we are likely to see more a negative price action, and then that really happened when the second part of this really started to happen. And then by that I mean when Elon Musk over here he started to say that okay, look, Tesla is no longer be accepting Bitcoin as a payment, and that sort of really triggered the sell off, and as a result we saw this massive momentum in Bitcoin. So the question really is, has the narrative changed? Well, I think the most important thing which really matters for investors is based on two factors. So the first factor is that yes, Tesla's narrative certainly matters a lot because yesterday the price literally cleared off all that Tesla market gains, like these gains, they were completely gone, and then they only happen on the back of the Tesla news because now investors are seriously going to think whether they wanted to whether they still wanted to consider diversifying their treasury system into Bitcoin. But the yesterday's wild moves, and then I'm really referring to these wild moves, can really change their mind even further because no one wants to have the treasury system allocated towards an asset which is as volatile as Bitcoin. And yesterday's price move has really sort of reminded everyone that how volatile Bitcoin could be because it dropped nearly 30% in a day while Ethereum dropped over 40%. So that can really change the narrative, and that can be the reason for further downward move. And the second, and very precisely the major reason which could further trigger the sell-off, further bring more weakness, is if we see for any change of heart among institutions from Wall Street, companies like Goldman Sachs, Citibank, JP Morgan, any of these, MicroStrategy, any of these ones starting to say that, okay, we are going to paddle backward now from here onwards because of the crypto volatility and so on and so forth. That could also bring crypto winter, and that means prolonged period of correction. Otherwise, if nothing changes from that front, the fundamentals remain strong. We could see the potential upward move in Bitcoin prices, and the current sell off could be very much of a big opportunity. Now, as I've mentioned earlier, we do see the prices moving back to the upside on the back, after that big sell off. And now, what we are really seeing in relation to the prices is that we're seeing the momentum moving to the upside. So we have three different moving averages. Firstly, 50-day, followed by that is your 100-day, and finally your 200-day on the daily time frame. So what we really see now is the price is in battle with the 200-day simple moving average. The moment it clears that obstacle, we will have a clear indication that the price has gained more strength. Of course, the signal of that is going to be coming. Further strength signal is going to be coming from the 4-hour time frame, and that is when the price will break above the 50-day simple moving average. That will give us a clear-cut signal that now the prices are becoming or have become very bullish. And of course, this signal is going to be coming from the 30-minute time frame, which already has shown us that prices have crossed above the 50-day simple moving average. But remember, we did see that over here as well. So what we really need this time is the price not only staying above the 50-day, but the 50-day also need to move above all the other two moving averages, and that would be a sort of a further confirmation of the bull strength really coming in. So really talking about the prices going all the way above that 43 to 44,000, and only then we can say that yes, now the momentum has completely changed. And then we also need to see the 50, as I said, above all the three important moving averages. Now, quickly, as for Ethereum, and guys, before we start talking about Ethereum, don't forget to smash that like button, because that really helps us on Google's algorithm as well. So in terms of Ethereum, the major support remains at $1,200 to $1,600 price mark. But of course, yesterday the price did sort of a bounce from near its 200-day simple moving average, and then it was this particular area of support right over here where the price really sort of went right under it, meaning it went way deep into this area of support. I'm really referring this area of consolidation, the 1900 to 2070 sort of a price level where the price bounced back up. Now, once again, the principle is same. The prices are way oversold. What we need to see is the more bullish signals coming from the 4-hour time frame, meaning the price needs to cross above the 200-day simple moving average. Overall, on the 4-hour time frame, we still have a signal which shows us that the prices are still likely to see more weakness, because the 50 is about to cross below the 100, and then let's see if the momentum doesn't really change. If the 50 day doesn't really quickly change its direction, then that means prolonged period of winter. Now, of course, on the 30-minute time frame, the price is challenging the 50-day simple moving average. So once again, we want to see the price breaking above the 50-day simple moving average, and more importantly, we want the price to continue to stay above the 50-day simple moving average, because if it breaks below the 50-day simple moving average, that means more weakness ahead. That's all for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy and safe trading until then.